any of the vendors there before general election. As the song says, how it go look? What would be the implications? So you're acting out of convenience. So let us hear the local government minister and MP for Castries Central, who was at the site of the arcade on Sunday where the demolition occurred, accusing certain people of being against progress.
Look at this. Look at this. You know, that is the condition and the state of the arcade that persons are resentful about getting redone.
MP for Castries Central and local government minister. So there was this vendor a few days ago, featured in a report filed by Hot TV, and entreating the Prime Minister, begging the Prime Minister to intervene on her behalf and on behalf of the vendors. Because according to her, she has voted for the Prime Minister for so long, and now that the vendors are being taken advantage of, he ought to intervene. But the Prime Minister is privy to everything that is taking place as we speak. The Prime Minister would have been at the center of the negotiations with GPH. The Prime Minister ought to be aware that the vendors would be displaced and no appropriate arrangement was made for them to be relocated while the project was being embarked upon. He's aware. So why are you still begging the Prime Minister? Why are you still seeking his intervention? Why are you begging and seeking sympathy from the Prime Minister? Primarily because you voted for him. And we hear people say the voter is the politician's boss. Obviously, that's not the case. The politicians, especially those in office, those in power, they are ruling over the people. And in this case, the vendors, not taking into consideration their plight and their welfare. So let's listen and watch this lady. I think her name is Theresa.
I am pleading for my Prime Minister, Mr. J. Philip Pierre. This is Theresa speaking there. Whatever you have to do for us, do it for us vendors, because vendors are waiting on you, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. I am there waiting for you. All my life I have given you all my vote. I never step down and go anywhere. So you come and see about us, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. It's time for you to talk about us. Say something for us, important for us. I don't have words to say again. It's crying. I don't have words to say. Because it's 40-something years we in the arcade from the time they open and we're there. And then today they throw us out. That's all I have to say. And love you, Philip J. Pierre, and come and see about us. I am pleading for my Prime Minister, Mr. J. Philip Pierre. This is Theresa speaking there. Whatever you have to do for us, do it for us vendors, because vendors are waiting on you, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. I am there waiting for you. All my life I have given you all my vote. I never step down and go anywhere. So you come and see about us, Mr. Philip J. Pierre. It's time for you to talk about us. Say something for us, important for us. I don't have words to say again. It's crying. I don't have words to say. Because it's 40-something years we in the arcade from the time they open and we're there. And then today they throw us out. That's all I have to say. And love you, Philip J. Pierre, and come and see about us.
So you have to grovel. You have to beg the Prime Minister for his intervention. Is that what putting the people first is all about? The island has recorded another homicide. We don't have the specifics, we don't have the details, But we are told that in Grosley, the unfortunate incident occurred late last evening. I'm told that apparently one family member fatally shot another family member, and this matter is under investigation. Just before we came on the air, we were informed that the alleged perpetrator was taken into custody. So this brings to about 33 or 34 the number of homicides recorded so far for St. Lucia. And also, we are told that the lifeless body of an individual was discovered in the La Panse area over the weekend. Again, the circumstances of that death we don't know, and we are waiting for the police to provide us with official information. It's time to open the lines at 452-2979, 452-2979 to take your calls. Of course, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And Jante is here going through your comments in the chat room. I think she will have a few of your messages to go through in just a moment. So please stand by for that. Once again, 452-2979 and the WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call via WhatsApp as we say hello and good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
And good afternoon to Jante, the listeners and the viewers.
Good afternoon.
Tim, like you, I am really saddened at the plight of the vendors at the arcade. But before I go specifically and talk about the vendors at the arcade, I think that seems to be, there seems to be a broader trend with vendors in this country on the whole. I am from Vieux-Fort South, and we do not have a market in Vieux-Fort as I speak. What stood as a market for decades in Vieux-Fort, that was remodeled or refurbished and repurposed, and it's now a social space. And vendors in Vieux-Fort are left to ply the trade and their livelihoods on the roadside down Clark Street and other places in Vieux-Fort. Now, anybody who knows, if you walk there on Clark Street, the place is littered with rats, you have stray dogs, you have all kind of vermin on the market. Even in Labrie, the neighboring constituency. The market that was there, I think they did the same thing, where they said that they were going to build a new market for vendors. This thing has been finished, but the vendors were pushed to the seaside, and they cannot apply the trade. You take the situation at Redway with that lady and Marjorie, where vendors are being asked to live on premises, and the government has not put things in place to accommodate them for the continued livelihood. Now, when I heard this thing about the vendors last week, I thought I should do some research. And I understand that there is something called an environmental and social governance rules. When a foreign developer moves into an area to build a project and finds that the land is already occupied by national stem. Now, this is an international standard, and one has to ask, what will the image of St. Lucia be like if those environmental and social governance rules are violated? Now, I will not bore you or your audience with all the nitty-gritty requirements of that E and S&G rules. But I will touch on the most sensitive one, the social component, as it is often the most sensitive when land is occupied. Now, that aspect of the rules governs the treatment of local people. It concerns with the displacement, livelihoods, community consultation, labor rights, and equitable and economic participation, among other things. Now, Tim, if I heard that the minister last week said that there seemed to be one of the problems that there seem to be is people not paying their rent, although it is $138. But even that conflict resolution, that should have been something that has ironed out even before the vendors were made any promises. If they were owing any dues to the CCC or to the government, that should be having part of the governance rules. You cannot just come and just displace people like that. You know, even the legality, I don't know, there's maybe somebody else who is more familiar with landlord and tenant law could call and elucidate us. Is 2 weeks enough time for a commercial venture for you to ask tenants to live, especially in the case of those vendors when they have to store the goods? Is 2 weeks sufficient time? So all these questions need to be answered. But I am very, very upset with the guy who represents the vendors, IPA. You know, I am beginning to think that this thing is above this guy's pay grade. And the government should really step in to negotiate if they had not done so before on behalf of the people. Because I listened to IPA last week where he said that GPH apparently had reneged on most of the agreements. Now, anybody worth their salt, when you enter into an agreement with a body or with any organization, it should be in writing. I expected to see IPA flashing papers like somebody else does and tell us, look, this is the agreement that we had with GPH. You know, not just word of mouth. And this gives us the impression that IPA has not negotiated fairly or well enough on behalf of the people that he's supposed to represent. And somebody needs to step up. And I think now it is time, not just the Prime Minister, but I think that other than the Minister of Trade, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and all those other people, they need to come out with the help of those vendors.
No,
but again,
listen, Connor, while I agree with you, but to a certain extent, the vendors need to find, let's say, an individual, somebody who can negotiate on their behalf with those same individuals that you have just identified. Talking about the Ministry of Commerce or the Prime Minister and other state agencies need to negotiate with the vendors. And you cannot negotiate with every individual vendor. So the vendors ought to have representatives or one individual or two representing their interest. Now also, if the vendors are properly organized, they could even have legal representation. The vendors should by now have had an attorney in their employ working on their behalf, because from time to time I'm sure there would be some issues that would require the court intervening to, negotiate some kind of settlement to make some kind of determination. So therefore the vendors will not go there trying to, in a legal matter, represent themselves. They would have an attorney to represent their interest. And that's what business is all about.
But Tim, I thought that was the rule. That's the reason why you have IPA Isaac as heading the vendors association. All the requirements that you mentioned there, this should have been in place by IPA. He's not a lawyer, he's not this, but that's why I'm saying. But let's take, for example.
Well, for obvious reasons, I'm not making reference to this gentleman. I'm not making reference to the Vendors Association. I'm just speaking directly to the vendors themselves, those vendors who are operating at the arcade, for them to determine what is best for them. Continue, sir.
Yes, but I think I have to go back. They have an association, and there is a guy heading that association. I understood he's been there for more than a decade. And all the requirements which you called for, you thought that would have been commonplace. If that is above his pay grade, then he should employ people, use his common sense even, to make sure that they have a proper representation in terms of legal heads and speak with the people in the government. But I am saying in the absence of all that now, we see the incompetence of the Vendors Association head. The government should actually step in to help its citizens. And then I go back again to the environmental and social governance rules. I think now this is the last straw. This is where the vendors have to look to seek some redress from the injustice that is being done to them by GPH and to a lesser extent the government. That's my contribution for the day.
Thank you so much for sharing it with us. 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's say good afternoon to you, Shante. Let's find out what's happening in the chat room, what is being said regarding some of the things that we've been discussing on the broadcast.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment says, Tim, did you or your viewers follow the migration policy agenda discussion this morning? Why do we need a migration policy? Not folks leaving, but primarily new residents coming in to stay. Vendors make the government feel like the superior educated ones, whereas since they do not have desk jobs, they are inferior. The vendors will all fold for votes. Another YouTube comment reading, they're ignorant so much, not even PJP's name they know, shaking my head. Moving to Facebook, our first comment reads, with another young man gunned down, what measures are being put in place to protect the citizens or to curb this crime situation? I'm asking the Commissioner of Police Vanguard, Crime Prevention and Conflict Minister Jeremiah Norbert, and our PM, National Security and Justice Minister. The vendors are part of St. Lucian society, one in which we love raise and handouts, hence our lumped shoulders and weak stoop. Tim, stop pleading for the vendors. The people are happy with their situation. We have another comment saying, I agree for all the vendors to take their goods and go sell in the parking lot of the Cabinet building. Richard told them, don't bite the hand that feeds them, while he was biting the hand that voted for him. But Tim, didn't they vote for this a few months ago? A few comments here reading, where are those caravans, by the way? The vendors must see themselves as entrepreneurs and that their future is in their hands. They need to unite and fight. They must fight this. Stand together, stand firm. Do they need some guidance from our friends from Martinique? These people don't play nice when it comes to their rights, their livelihoods, and their freedom. We have another comment here reading, Tim, you said that the vendors are too humble. They knew when to act. That just depends on which government. The people didn't put themselves first, so who will put them first? Caller, the vendors don't know their rights. That is why they are being disrespected. We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, just imagine the same SLP made noise about an old jail. We need more development in the country. Not an ounce of sympathy from me. That's the same ones dressed all in red before and after elections, and they're still going to go back to the SLP. Another comment here from Facebook saying, listen to St. Lucia's ignorance. Where is the president of the Vendors Association? Stand and wait there still, PGP will come. Another comment reading, vendors, that's all you are able to do. Vent. Caller, what are you sad for? The vendors are not sad for themselves. Be careful. Fraudulent snakes are on the rise. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Jante, for that update. Somebody says they're monitoring from Madrid, Spain. Good afternoon to all news spinners. Let's see if we have some more of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, I understand that the body found in Lepanse was partially decomposed and bullet-ridden. Well, we are still waiting for official information on this gruesome discovery. Somebody says that, Tim, why are we launching a draft migration policy? It sounds a lot like launching an incomplete hospital. Some more of your messages, and somebody says there, Tim, we're aggressive so much in St. Lucia. Our hearts are waxed cold. And some more of your contributions. Another person says there, Tim, that response from RF, next elections, God willing, you need to replay that tape to remind the people if Castro Central about that type of character, they give the power over them. Because I know on the eve of the next election, the SLP ministers will go to God mode only to fool them again. The mood is definitely red. That's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's see if we could go through some more of your messages. Tim, who are the owners of GPH? We're owned by foreign interests. And another WhatsApp message. It is sad that the vendors are in such a position. There is a phrase that says, and I will paraphrase, if you ball up your hand, you can deliver a powerful blow. The vendors have to come together with one mind and aim to deliver that blow to the gouvernement Mali way they voted for. My dad always say, even if he does not have $1 in his pocket, he is not poor, and we should not associate ourselves with poverty. And that's what they did. Sao Ojuen Chebe, again, according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says the hit team radio went off. What's wrong? Okay, we were off the air, I am told, for a few minutes because we had some technical issues that we had to attend to. Another person says that, Tim, politics in Lucia does blind people. Tim, there are empty boxes in the garden. Guess it's not for the SLP supporters in the vendors arcade. That serves them right. Some more of your WhatsApp messages. And somebody says there, we need to call elections before the 5 years are up. Another one says, the vendors need to put together and hire a good attorney. There are so many of them. It might not cost them so much. And these individuals need to stop making the vendors believe that they are representing their interests. Another one says the signs were there from the start. They replaced hardworking people with flower pots, waiting to see what they will put in the new and improved arcade. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. Tim, can your reliable sources give us an update through you on the Cuban Eye Specialist program? Okay. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, not for the weak-hearted. Body in La Panse was indeed filled with bullets. Again, we are waiting for information from the police on this. Another one says, the high good day to all the vendors who are in distress under this present government. It was all one voice. Earringy, and that's according to a WhatsApp message. Another one says there, Tim, does Senusha belong to the housing minister? Do we have any of your messages to go through? Let's see if we have any of them. And somebody says there via WhatsApp, Tim, I'm disappointed but not surprised. Had the election been called when it was due, all this information would have been brought to light, and the SLP administration might not have been successful at the general election. Another WhatsApp message. Good day. I've been taking a break from all the drama, but I listen to your show from time to time. Things just seem to be getting from bad to worse. Again, according to a WhatsApp message. Let me turn my attention again to you, Jante, and let's find out what is happening in the chat rooms.
Over here on YouTube, we have a comment saying, Wasco, the people of Bogies need water. It's been 3 weeks now.
Let me take the opportunity because I'm hearing that the people of Timon, they have been without water for over a week now, and they can't take it anymore. So the Water and Sewerage Authority or company, please attend to that particular issue, that particular problem. Timon residents, they have been without water for about 2 weeks now, and they are seeking for supply. They're seeking for some kind of reprieve to their unbearable condition.
The water trucks pick and choose who the water goes to. Does it mean that one set of people are the ones paying the bills? St. Lucians were warned about the SLP. Now their bread is burning. Another comment from Facebook here saying, I'm happy for the vendors, you'll have just started to cry. Another comment saying, I'm listening and enjoying the show. Vendors, pay your rent and all will be well. Another saying, Tim, where in the Caribbean do you hear a government minister calling this vendors or citizens indiscreet? Only in St. Lucia. Another saying, I really don't care about these vendors. We have better things to discuss. How can I be concerned about people's livelihoods when they themselves don't care about it? Another saying, the labor role is not for the UWP. Ask the president what he was doing and with whom when he was on the election day at the Castries Fisheries Complex. The vendors have been rejecting their president for many years, so this is their issue. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that update. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Just bear with me. Somebody says that, Tim, why water being wasted 3 weeks now? Black Bay VA4, Blossom Road, Wasco has been notified. And the person continues, Tim, why didn't let the Haitians go on their merry way? They were destined to St. Martin. Now they are at Body Lake Correctional Facility, costing the government more money, and the facility is already overcrowded. Another person says there, a week without water is like yesterday. We at Old Bel Air almost a month now, not a drop. Almost emptied 2 1,000-gallon water tanks. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, when RF said no one will touch his vendors, it was music to your ear. Hallelujah. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. And somebody says there, hi Tim, following today's discussion and on the topic of launching incomplete projects on Friday, a national youth policy was launched, but no copies have been made available since. What then was the purpose of the grand event at the Derek Walcott Square? Let's see if we have another message. Somebody says there, why is the housing minister making so much noise about a vending area when there is a mayor? The minister needs to be more aggressive about the housing situation in the country. Again, a WhatsApp message says that, Tim, good morning, good afternoon. I saw Wasco workers reading meters in La Pointe, Monrepos, yet we have been without water for 3 weeks plus. What exactly are they reading? That's it, according to our WhatsApp message. Still to come, some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and of course our discussion right here on the most monitored talk show in the world.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
Hey there, Lucelect family. It's Malika, and today I've got a burning question. What's with the fuel surcharge?
Hey Malika, I'm Didi. Buckle up, because you're about to take a deep dive into the world of fuel surcharge. Alright? So Malika, fuel surcharge is all about the cost of fuel on the global market. It's a monthly thing, dancing to the tune of international fuel prices and our energy consumption.
Really?
So Malika, don't freak out, okay? Let's get into the math of how we calculate the surcharge. Imagine this. July's fuel cost is $11 per gallon, while last year's average was $10.50 a gallon. This is a difference of 50 cents. Now let's say we have a fuel consumption of 5,000 gallons and total unit sales of, let's say, 20,000 kilowatt hours. What we do, we multiply this 50 cents by the 5,000 gallons of fuel that we use for a grand total surcharge of $2,500. Then we divide the $2,500 by the 20,000 kilowatt-hour unit sales. This gives us a net 12.5 cents per kilowatt-hour. This is a surcharge applied to the electricity you used. And it isn't for Lucilec only. It's an international thing to keep things fair.
Thanks for the knowledge, Didi. Now I'm feeling charged up.
You got it, Malaika? Keep those questions coming. We're here to keep you in the know.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Ouais, monsieur, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow, hein. Si t'en la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou savez ça moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme cette ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Prendre pompe yo c'est Léo. Pompe ça c'est major. Ils bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moins actuellement. Glo ka fonte. Europa ni pompe glo Léo under pour les nerfs, joinge et gris. Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452-0763.
Flow makes your next phone upgrade easy. Add postpaid to your internet plan and score a Samsung Galaxy for as low as $47 a month. It's the smartest way to an interest-free premium phone upgrade. Don't let anything stand between you and that new phone feeling. Step into your upgrade with confidence. Visit us in store and sign up today. We keep your rhythm flowing. Terms and conditions apply.
Night Meds. It's your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Blackheart is back. Battle lines have been drawn. Who will be the next Blackheart champion? Follow your team and take in the action. Kickoff May 16th, 17th, and 20th. Philip Maslair, Grounds in View Fort.
Over 60,000 in cash and prizes. 16 teams, 3 amazing venues.
Then on May 27th, 29th, and 31st, the Soufriere Mini Stadium comes alive. Tomorrow's stars take center stage. The Blackheart SLFA Under-20 Knockout Football Tournament, where future legends rise.
Over 60,000 in cash and prizes.
You're watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world, and even monitored by a Roman Catholic priest, because reference was made to NewsSpin yesterday, en passant, by Father Albert, while delivering a church service at the Babonneau Good Shepherd Catholic Church.
I was listening to a program last week or week before, and the person called NewsSpin and was talking about the whole aspect of things in Soufrière and talk about, a few years ago, how there was a meeting, the coming together of the two gangs, and there was an understanding that came about. And what the person failed to say, it was Father Setut who made it happen. So they leave out the church completely as though they did it on their own. Father Setut was the one who made it happen at the St. Isidore's Hall while we were parish priests of Soufrière. Let's not leave out that piece.
We have to credit Father Albert. He's delivering his church service on Sunday at the Babuno Good Shepherd Catholic Church. The Miku Police Station, they have a series of community meetings starting this evening from 6 o'clock. They're trying to engage members of the various communities in that part of the island. So today, Monday, May the 18th, 2026, meeting at the Miku Multipurpose Center, again at 6 this evening. Wednesday, May the 20th, 2026, it'll be the turn of Monrepo Patience at the Monrepo Patience School, Combined School, 6 o'clock in the evening once again. On Tuesday, the 26th of May, Deriso Multipurpose Center. And on Wednesday, the 27th of May 2026, Tiroche Multipurpose Center. Residents of the various communities of Miku are encouraged to attend and actively participate in these discussions to build safer communities. Also, guess who is celebrating her birthday today? The one-time chatroom reporter, NewsSpin's chatroom reporter, Amanda King, who left us just a few weeks ago to take on her assignment, a new job at DBS Television as a reporter. She is celebrating her birthday today. I think right now she is on duty, somewhere on the road, and maybe she will not be able to hear us sending greetings to her. Nonetheless, I'm sure that you'll get the message before the day is over. So once again, happy birthday to you, Amanda King, former chatroom reporter here on the program NewsSpin, who is celebrating her birthday. Well, our new chatroom reporter is Jante, not celebrating her birthday, but she's here with us today. And in a moment, we'll be going over to her for another update. We have a call in the meantime. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon to John T, right?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Tim. The people in St. Lucia can't complain too much because as far as what they had the previous administration, well, not the previous, well, the present administration back a couple of years, and I mean, what they mean. You put in the prime minister when you ask him.
Caller, can you speak directly into the phone? We could barely hear you. You're not as clear as we want you to be, sir.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me now?
A little better. But anyway, go ahead.
You hear me now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying, a lot of what's going on in St. Lucia right now, the people had the choice recently, last year. They seem like you had a prime minister where you're asking questions, right? He never had a response to many of the important questions, And then you had the opposition where it was making, certain what would I say? Proposals, because they've been in power before and they proved, because they were attacking multiple infrastructure projects like roads, enhancing the roads. You could see the projects was going on. But the people made the choices. A lot of what are going on there. Sometimes we want to feel bad. I don't want to feel bad for St. Lucians right now. I'm out there in Canada. I'm chilling. I don't want to feel bad for them. As much as I want to feel bad, that's because it's what you put in is what you get out. If you put in this government and that's what they deliver, and that's what you're gonna get from them. You still have people holding fundraising for people, still holding fundraising to save people's lives. Whereas they were the new government, the previous government was implementing. They made it that they would implement, 75,000. Like everybody is gonna be, insured. They were making proposal where you lose your job, you're gonna get some form of income, so that you don't have to have your mind all twisted. That is some income coming. During COVID, I benefited. I haven't put on weight during COVID because my salary was coming in. You know what I mean? And the people had all of that. Now, I'm saying we got the gas prices rising with what's going on in the Gulf, right? What initiative have this government put in place to cushion? Because we in Canada, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling it. Yo, you be crazy. Yo, I pay diesel. Diesel prices are up. My car use diesel. I got a diesel engine. My car use diesel, and it's high, and it keeps going up. You know what I mean? How we feeling? You know what I mean? So I'm saying this is like a pandemic. What the government haven't even come out and figure out how he's gonna cushion gas prices, and because when gas prices, everything rise. Cost of living, everything rise. Because it's movement of goods and services. The governor, this Mr. Pierre is supposed to be an economist. Do you think it's wise for him to come forward and explain to the people or tell them what he's gonna cushion? Because if you're an economist, he should know there's gonna be some, some indirect or direct financial crisis towards the people. You know what I mean? Unless I don't know. But I'm just saying, I don't feel sorry for them people, Tim. You see, it's sad. I have to say that. But this is what they want. So if they are to suffer, let them suffer, bro.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my take on that.
All right. Thank you so much for calling, sir. Again, good afternoon to you, Shanti. Let's find out what's happening in the chat rooms.
Good afternoon, Tim. Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, "Don't cry, lady. Better days are coming. Caller, the government will do something in 2029. Some of us are too shallow in our thinking, so enjoy the ride until we wake up." Another YouTube comment saying, "Stop being fooled by different political parties. Vote for the benefits of the country. The government never made the details of the GPH deal public." On Facebook, our first comment reads, "Caller, the people are afraid to talk. SLP got their supporters to hate Shas because he's a white man. But St. Lucia has been sold to the white man who is now victimizing them. Boy, the more things change, the more things stay the same in this place." We have another comment saying, "Don't touch my vendors. That's good for them. It's time for them to learn their lesson and stop crying. The arcade was painted red last year. Now it is in tears. They can't afford rent. You think they can afford a lawyer?" A few comments here reading, "Poor job, Tim. Your job as public complaints minister is not easy. If it was Shas, they would have been on the road with the black card protesting. Good for you. Let us know when PJP comes to see you." We have another comment reading, "Imagine if it was Shas in office with this water shortage and vendor mess. These hacks would have been in the hot sun with their red tonsils on fire." PJP stood up to Richard for trying to demolish the old pin tree, but he will not lift a finger to help vendors who voted for him. All what RF is doing to the vendors he has done before, including exposing their accounts on his show and putting up their photos. We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, "World most monitored show. Tim, SLPs listen to NewsSpin more than they listen to PJP. I can imagine how my PM Shas relaxing, sipping his wine and listening to them cry." We have another comment here saying, "To the vendors from Castry Central, please don't be telling RF I voted for you. The man was not in the voting booth with you. Mikud police turned political. My mom's house has been broken into 4 times in 2 months. The culprits still walking in community." Church spin. Another comment reading, "Some of the vendors must cry. PJP, come and help us. You think PJP is a god? You never called on the Lord. So, and our final comment, Wasco, we need water at Wolbele so we can fill our tanks, barrels, and buckets that are empty.
Thank you so much, Auntie, for that update. Somebody says via WhatsApp, good afternoon. With all these issues we've had before the elections, and now these issues are even worse after elections, plus more issues such as water supply issues, visa restrictions, vendors issues, crime, and it looks like there's more to come. So what exactly are we doing with this government? Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's take a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim. How are you?
I'm okay, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
Timothy, I went passing the arcade on Saturday, I think, and I noticed that they have cleared a lot of the vendors already. It was really heartrending to see that. Really, really, really. Are you saying that there was not a place allotted to them that they can go to sell? Are you saying that did they send them out?
Yeah, but that is the gripe. That alternative arrangements have not been made for them because they would be probably they would be at home for a while, not being able to apply the trade.
Tim, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go right ahead.
In passing by the Georgia Fifth Park, which is opposite the Darling Road there, I noticed a lot of little canteens, and these things have been there for a long time. They've been there over a year. Am I right?
Yeah, about that.
They're sitting. Allow these persons to probably use those canteens in the city, in different areas, and maybe they will have to contribute to it and take care of it until better can be done. Because these things are just there on the side of the road in the Georgia Fifth Park doing nothing, and it's just the wind taking over the little windmill at the top. So that's just a suggestion, Tim. Because we just say, but I feel for these people. After getting an amount of money for a certain amount of time, and all of a sudden you're not getting anything after that. It's not easy, Tim. With the bills, going to the supermarket, doing different things. These people are going to have it hard. I feel for them. I cannot say that I don't feel for them at all. I feel for these people, and I'm sorry to hear that. So let us see if probably we can use those little canteens and help those people probably come out in the different parts of town to do their selling. It's really it's saddening. But that's not why I call you, Tim. Timothy, I remember before the elections, St. Lucia was being cleaned. Oh, it was a beautiful sight to see how clean St. Lucia was getting. Now, every river is a forest. When is the next election, Tim?
In about 5 years' time.
So that means in the next 5 years we're going to get our rivers and our gutters cleaned. Come on, we need to clean up these things. Come down from by Lazarus funeral home, and come down that area, coming down to the next the roundabout, and see the amount of bush in the river. And we are coming into the hurricane season. Please, the authorities, persons who are in authority, please clean it up. Because when elections was coming, everywhere was being cleaned. And now everything has been forgotten. So please make an effort to do that. Thank you, Timothy.
Okay, caller, you're welcome. Thank you so much for calling. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, we go through a WhatsApp message. And somebody says, okay, we have a call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Jim, how you doing, bro?
I'm okay. How about you?
Good. I'm great. Jim, first to begin, the solutions need to take on the responsibility of keeping the area clean. We have a big problem for that thing. We depend on government to do everything. Can you imagine? I was just going to run that by you. The drain in Banan. I had a young man cleaning the drain. That was Saturday last week. Another man came across to him with fret. telling him, "So what you doing? You cannot come then clean the drain. I wouldn't get work from the government when you do that." You know? So the man, the young boy left and he came across by me. And he told me, "Look, that man just came there threatening him." So I went up to him and said, from Bosla. This is the mentality of St. Lucians today. It is government must clean the toilet for them. You know? So
but don't you think that that's a precedent that has been set by governments and parliamentary representatives in their quest to get votes?
I will not say no, Tim. I will say yes.
But you can't say no.
No, but it happened on both governments.
But that's what I said. Governments. That's what I said, caller.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what I said.
You're right, and it is wrong. We need to stop that. We need to push away from that. Somebody got to take it by the bull. And I find a man like Richard is working in that direction. Honestly speaking, Richard is a man at the MP for Central is working in the interest for all solutions. If you look at the vendors team, there is no other minister that did so much for the vendors of castries than Richard Frederick. Richard would, if you go to Richard aggressively, he'll stand up because Richard figure to himself, boy, you're coming and trying to belittle me. But if you go to Richard and reason with Richard will listen to you. Richard is one man you could call him midnight and he will answer his phone. Because he know the reason why he going to answer him, because the responsibility he have is for not one, it's for all. If he doesn't answer your call, he will call you back. I see vendors all over castries with booths, little booths. And you're going to tell me a man like that is not for the people of castries or the vendors? A man like that is not. The vendors are all on the streets, with little trees, umbrella, spikes all over the place, pallets all over the place. And all of that demolished, went away, and he built what? He built little, they call it little huts, but he built huts for them that they could use, lock up, and go home. And instead of that, some of them, instead of doing the right thing, a lot of them doing the wrong thing in it. You understand? You can't blame the minister. You go and look at the arcade team. I did a walk yesterday with GPH, because I do some cleaning for them now and then. It was an eyesore. It was
caller, so therefore you can't talk against GPH. You were doing work for GPH. Hold on, caller. Hold on. You're working for GPH. Then you're the mouthpiece of GPH, caller.
No, I'm not the mouthpiece of GPH.
But that's what you just said there. You said you did a walk. Caller, you said you walked through the area with GPH because you're doing some work for them. I was wondering.
I do some a little cleanup for them now and then. They call me. They will tell me, well, this place needs cleaning. Can you clean it for me or something?
So that's why you're selling out the vendors.
No. I will never sell out the vendors.
But that's what you just did, eh?
Tim, no, the vendors, Tim, tell me something, Tim. What you saw there, Tim, do you think that is right? Tim, that is not right, Tim. Tim, our people, the vendors is our people. They are our people, Tim. That's our people, Tim. Them people have to survive. My mother was a vendor, just like your mom, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt in the CDC, she was a vendor for many, many years, going to the United States as a baby boy walking down from the SAB to the school, RC boy school. I used to go to my aunt, sit by her. So I know what the vendors, from where the vendors came from, for where they are today, Tim. And you tell me, Tim, when you look at the arcade, Tim, I don't want a job in the arcade. I want it. It's not that I'm just telling you, I saw it because there was a boat ride there yesterday, and we went across.
So if there's a problem there, sir, here's what to cut this long story short. The city council, therefore, has done a bad job in managing the arcade. That is their responsibility, and if you have a buildup of garbage in the area, if it's not properly managed, then they have failed the vendors. The facility is owned by the government of St. Lucia, and it ought to be managed properly. That is at the heart of the issue.
I agree 100% with you. It was badly managed from the beginning. Now, what they need to put in place, there should be an inspection an inspection policy in place every 2 months. That the vendors, the landlord supposed to go in and inspect the place every 2 months to make sure that these places are kept to a standard. But unlike now, Tim, if you do the same thing in the Castries market, Tim, in the Castries market, Tim, because it becomes a storeroom and not a proper storeroom.
Yeah, Cole, I think you're looking at it from only one perspective, and if you look at if you look at break-ins and we have a report that I'll play in just a moment, break-ins that have occurred at the arcade. Again, the city council has not provided the necessary security for the vendors. Okay, and if you're asking the vendors to pay the monthly fees, it should entail proper security for those people.
There was proper security at the arcade.
Caller, there wasn't. Okay, there wasn't. But
I told him to walk across there.
Yeah.
And they had security all through the night there. They had dogs there.
Okay.
Dogs patrolling the area.
As recent as 3 months ago, there was a concern. Let me play the report. Thank you so much for calling, sir. We have a report now by DBS's Miriam Montoute reporting about the lack of proper security at the vendors arcade. And this report was filed and aired on the DBS News World 3 months ago.
Vendors at the Castries arcade are frustrated with the nighttime security measures in place at the facility. This comes after several vendors reportedly fell victim to theft. The latest break-in occurred sometime between Monday night and early Tuesday morning at Monty's Place, a restaurant and bar located to the back of the arcade. The proprietor says the thieves made off with a few coins. He adds that this is the fourth break-in during his 30 years in business. Frances Severin, owner of Frances Rub, says more must be done to protect the vendors' merchandise, which they rely on to make a living.
I find they should have more security. During daytime, it's okay. But nighttime, they cannot have one security. I come here at 5 o'clock in the morning. So there's one security I see. They have security during the day because they have some good security working the other day, in the day. But the night is very important. That's the time. To see Monty have his shop there, break and enter, carry them and things. Why? That is not good. We need to stand up.
Mistress Severin says that the thieves have also tried to break and enter her establishment. To protect her business, she says she got permission from the Castries Constituency Council to install security cameras.
When the fellas came, they come with a piqua and they push it behind the shop there, in my shop, to try and burst it to go inside. When they tried to burst it to go inside, they realized they could not go in. One say, hey, but look, the woman have a camera there, the camera pick up all of their face. Up to now, nothing has done, nothing has said to say anything about it. I myself will not need nothing. I had machine for the food, everything. I took it out. From the time I realized they tried to break and enter my shop, I took it. What I have there, a bed and Frances Rub, what are they going to do with it? If they go on the street and sell it, I will get it back.
Another vendor says her stall was broken into twice, with the most recent incident occurring just before Christmas.
It's so sad that you buy things to sell, and when you come, your shop is being broken. And nothing for it, nothing, and you still have to pay. And if you don't pay, they send in paper for you to pay.
So what did they steal from you when they broke?
Drinks, clothes, hair. They even stole hair that was used already.
The DBS News World attempted to contact the city police for more information on the break-ins, but was unsuccessful. For the DBS News World, Miriam Montoute.
Report just filed by DBS's Miriam Montoute 3 months ago, so it can't be a one-way street. Focusing primarily on the vendors not meeting their commitment to the CCC has also failed the vendors over the last few decades as well. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages on this, the most monitored talk show in the world, which is called NewsSpin.
Advance your career at Lightspark Training with a globally recognized certification. Conveniently located on High Street Castries, Lightspark offers a wide range of programs to make the most of your career. Certifications in project management, risk management, quality management, marketing, ACC accounting, human resources, Microsoft, Cisco, and IT technician certification, graphic design, web design, and programming. Complete a diploma in accounting in 6 months or a bachelor's degree in just over a year. Call us today at 451-8918 or visit us at www.lightspark.com.
your shot. Carnival costumes, yeah, we giving out 4 plus 1,000 cash. Tell me who want more. Tap, tap, tap to the Vaval. Win big, have a ball. Tap, tap, don't you stall. First National, got it all. Sign up online or visit a branch today. Get your credit card June 30, don't delay.
The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is inviting suitably qualified persons across the ECCU to apply for the positions of senior economist and facilities maintenance technician. Ready to take the next step in your career? Visit our website www.eccb-centralbank.org and complete the application form via the vacancies tab. Applications close on Friday, 22nd May 2026.
Bob and Dave were very proud to buy their mom a new energy-saving fridge with lots of smart settings. They remember the old ways of energy saving. Mom always said, "Close the fridge, you're wasting current." Smart advice then, smart advice now. Close the fridge, you're wasting current. Saving energy is what's smart.
Need branded apparel that looks sharp and shows up on time? Welcome to Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts. We specialize in custom embroidery and t-shirt printing for businesses, teams, events, you name it. From embroidered logos on polished Oxford shirts, available in a variety of colors for men and women, to bold, high-quality printed tees that turn heads, we do it all. Bring your own shirts or choose from ours. Small runs, big orders, rush jobs, no problem. At Imprinted Designs, we're built for speed, efficiency, and clean professional results delivered on time, every time. So if you want your brand to stand out, not wait around, come down to Imprinted Designs at the Valmore Plaza or hit us up at 451-2920 or email address imprinteddesignsSLU@gmail.com. Imprinted Designs, where every stitch counts.
Exceeding your expectations is what we strive for at Lazarus Funeral Home. Losing a loved one isn't something you can foresee. Since the beginning, affordability has been one of our priorities. Every day we're proving that burials don't have to be expensive. If cost is a factor in your time of bereavement, call Lazarus Funeral Home. We have coffins starting at $800 plus taxes. Nothing can cause more disappointment than poor quality. Help us help you keep your last memory of your loved one sacred. Make it special. Make it Lazarus Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Located at Bibliotheque Castries at 452-7491 and New Dock Road V4 at 454-6555.
Stop paying full price. With Flow, you can slash your bill in half. You heard right. Cut your mobile bill in half when you add mobile to internet. That's the most reliable Wi-Fi at home. Plus, all the data you need on the go. So don't wait. Double your connection and double your value for half the price. Add mobile to internet today. Visit in-store or online at discoverflow.co for more details.
Ouais, messie, pas jodi moi la ka espérer plein bon glow. Si ten la pani pressure. Moi ni tongue, moi ni glow, me money pressure. Ou sav sa moi besoin? A pomme. Ça c'est bêtise. Moi ka aller ko Europa. Yo ni toute pomme pour toute condition. Qui pour kay, qui pour business. Yo ni pli mer pour pomme set ici. Yo ka ranger pomme aussi qui besoin service. Brand pump yo c'est Léo. Pump ça c'est Major. I bon tout bonnement. Tant si ten moi actuellement. Glo ka fonte.
Europa ni pump glo Léo under pour les nerfs, joinge et gris.
Visitez Europa ambassade Gozile. Les mots au téléphone 452 0763.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Somebody says that, Tim, the banana fishermen need your help. The fishermen are excited about the GPH development project which is in progress in the area. However, they have two concerns which warrants your intervention. The restrooms which were built near the temporary quarters for the fishermen have not been opened. Through the grapevine, we learned that the main water line is on the Old Talk Road near the gym, and Wasco has provided the GPH contractor the cost to have the water infrastructure installed. Can SLASPA, GPH, or the MP provide information on the commissioning of the restrooms? The second issue has to do with two lights on the poles within the GPH construction site, which had to be removed. Can consideration be given to relocating the poles outside of GPH's construction site and the light be installed on them? The street lights served as security lighting for the fishing boat and outdoor engines. Several incidents of theft have been experienced. Can one of the stakeholders mentioned above facilitate this request on behalf of the Bannan fishermen? So a WhatsApp message. Once again, the fishermen are excited about the GPH development project which is in progress in the area. However, they have two concerns which warrants your intervention. The restrooms which were built near the temporary quarters for the fishermen have not been opened. Through the grapevine, we learned that the main water line is on the Old Latalk Road near the gym, and Wasco has provided the GPH contractor with the cost to have the water infrastructure installed. Can SLASPA, GPH, or the MP for the area provide information on the commissioning of the restrooms? The second issue has to do with two lights on the poles within the deep GPH construction site which had to be removed. Can consideration be given to relocating the poles outside of GPH's construction site and the light be installed on them? The street lights served as security lighting for the fishing boat and outdoor engines. Several incidents of theft have been experienced. Can one of the stakeholders mentioned above facilitate this request on behalf of the Bannan fishermen? Here's hoping that the authorities will do what is required to bring some kind of relief to the fisher folk. Somebody says there, good day to you, Tim. You are minister for every citizen's problems. We, the new spinners, will have to tell the government to pay you for helping them with their work. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. Let's find out from you, Janti, what's happening in the chat rooms.
Starting off on YouTube, our first comment reads, the former Minister of Crime Prevention did nothing for 5 years except draw a salary. Now he's the Minister of Conflict Resolution. Caller, the people have spoken according to them. They don't need any cushioning. Caller, the Prime Minister said the situation is too fluid for the ministers to see anything about worldly affairs. Every time SLP is in power, St. Lucia goes backwards and gets dirtier. By 2030, St. Lucia will be last in the Caribbean. On Facebook, our first comment reads, caller, who was the previous government? Some St. Lucians love to suffer, so let them cry. We're still being surprised by things not happening after elections. These tricks still work on y'all. We have another comment saying, caller, y'all SLP gave Tommy jokes for cleaning the drains. Caller is singing for his supper badly. Jack don't want me to sell in my arcade. Vendors, go and protest. A few comments here saying, caller, SLP politicians gave them bad manners and mentalities. The entire city is smelling. We're back to where we were in 2011 to 2016 under Kenny. The country is a mess. Can you imagine that? The words from this guy. We have another comment reading, it took GPH for you to see how bad the arcade was. You see how he came to defend RF because the discussion today is about vendors and the injustice melted out to them. Which dogs? The strays? We have more comments from our Facebook page saying, caller, what about the hospital? All of those who got their contracts have no issues with what's going on in the country, shaking my head. We are just not growing as a people. We have another comment here saying, St. Lucia is going down, down, down. And our final comment, he is doing a little cleaning job here and there for GPH, and he's happy with that. He's even defending them.
Thanks so much, Shanti, for that. I suspect that will be your final update. Let's see if we go through some of your WhatsApp messages. In just a moment, we'll have the NewsSpin question of the day, as well as the NewsSpin news of the day. Somebody says that Tim the man is speaking for his dollar. Mem. Again, that's according to a WhatsApp message. One caller talking about the plywood city. Those structures are not long-lasting, caller. Let hurricane come in and you will see. Choopston. Another WhatsApp message. It says that Tim, don't mind that man. He's getting it good. He's not a true man. He is working with the RF team. Another WhatsApp message, and it says there, I agree with that caller because when I'm home, the amount of garbage I see around people's house, the streets, the drains, the side of the roads, etc., is embarrassing. Since when we Lucians become so our national word? And another WhatsApp message, and somebody says there, the vendor made it crystal clear she supported the Labour Party and Philip JPF for years. Not once did she give the other party a chance. She supported the rhetoric, the policies, the whole package. Walk through the market on any given day and you'll see them. Still with the election red cups, red t-shirts, red bags, you name it. The loyalty is obvious. Deal with it, lady. Another WhatsApp message. Good afternoon. This man doesn't know what or who he talking about. Why me? Okay, I can't read this one. I'm sorry. Another WhatsApp message, and it says there, Tim, the man is singing for his supper. Another one. The caller didn't address the issues that the vendors have been kicked out without accommodation being made for them. And another WhatsApp message. This is this guy, a SLP hack. I cannot believe this guy. Shaking my head. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Okay. All right. Please bear with me. Somebody says that Tim, the body found at La Panse, is the father of a particular individual. Okay, that's according to WhatsApp message. This Frank, remember Frank called last week. He had an issue with regard to his baby and trying to access the birth certificate for the infant. He was encountering some difficulties, particularly with the child's mother. Let's listen to him and the plea that he made for assistance.
I have this child with a young lady.
Mm-hmm.
We have our differences, but I try my best to take care of him. Now, I'm not bashing her, but it's the system in the sense that it all started when he was born. I've been there for him. I went to get his birth certificate. My name wasn't on his birth certificate. They tell me it's the mother alone that can do it. Okay. I reached the mother playing a hardball to get his birth certificate, and she kept threatening me, saying, remember, she that have rights to him, she's his mother, and blah, blah, blah. I went to family court for some assistance. They tell me they cannot help me. But a week later...
Okay, on what basis you were told that they cannot help you?
Well, I came there, I tell them, well, that's my little situation with my child mother and thing, trying to get my son documents and access to him. They tell me they can help me. Is a woman that have to bring me there.
Okay.
A week later, after they tell me they cannot assist me, a week later, she's bringing me there. When she bring me there, I spoke to a social worker. I have everything documented. She telling me, well, that's not right ever. Then the mother never show up for the meeting. The mother never showed up. They give me a letter to go Human Services. Human Services, I had a meeting with them, and nothing came out of that. And up to a day like today, I have my son, which is about a year and 6 months, and I cannot do nothing for him in the sense that my name not on a birth certificate. I cannot get him registered in a daycare or anything. But thankfully, there's a friend of mine that have a daycare. He's there. If something happened to him, full responsibility is on me. I cannot get his insurance. I cannot do anything for him. And the mother is like, she just abandoned him, turn her back. She don't call nothing or whatsoever. She came once to the certificate, never error my name. I fix it. Here is me calling her, and it's like she's threatening me, telling me she don't have to come and do it, and she's like saying, remember the law stating is a mother that have rights to him, and she keep throwing that at me, and she just turn her back, and I'm ground zero.
And the child, the infant, the boy is in your care.
He's in my care for the past almost a year. He's in my care. It's me taking care of him. It's me that have him. Mother she don't call. She don't come and check on him. I know when you go human services, they're supposed to interview you. They're supposed to come to your place to do an interview and whatever. None of that was happening. And what they telling me, like the office at human services tell me, she was speaking to me as an officer, but she telling me as a human, just tolerate the mother. She know one day the mother must give up. I mean, I come in you for help. That's the best advice you can give me.
A plea being made there by Frank on behalf of his infant, I think a year and 6 months old. I'm told that somebody from the Ministry of Equity has come to his assistance and they are trying to address his concerns. So I'm wishing him all the best with this. And the birthday girl Amanda saying thank you so much for the good wishes that we sent to her earlier on during the broadcast.
Good afternoon, my lovely spinners. Oh my goodness, I miss you guys so much. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying the show with our new co-host, our chatroom reporter. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Good afternoon, my lovely.
Listen attention now to the NewsSpin question of the day. Why must a hard-working woman at the vendor's arcade be pushed to tears, crying for the Prime Minister's intervention? Why must a hard-working woman at the vendor's arcade be pushed to tears, crying for the Prime Minister's intervention? The NewsSpin question of the day. And finally, the NewsSpin news of the day. The World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak an international emergency. The World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak an international emergency. That's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Goodbye.